So we got all this brisket here. How many do we have again?
Probably almost 15, 16 brisket. A huge pack of ribs and then 2 smaller ones. And we got probably 10 of those baby Cornish hen. So that's what we're doing.
All right. So what's the process again? First, we gotta.
We are gonna trim them to get rid of any excess that are just sticking out. If the fat is too thick, we're gonna trim them down so that way they can render easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said, what do we do with the fat afterwards again?
And we're gonna put the fat in the smoker and let it smoke, and then we'll put it back. We'll put it back on the meat when we wrap.
Okay, nice. This is gonna be fun.
Yes. And it will take us all the way till tomorrow to eat by 3.
Yep. So we're sleeping over.
Yeah. They're pulling an all-nighter.
This piece of fat.
Yeah.
They cheated because they just put some weight on this piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what the Indominus Rex tore out of her. It was the tracker.
That giant tracker.
Yeah.
Oh man, this looks like a beautiful piece of meat right here.
Yeah, this is a 17 pound of meat.
Okay.
Of brisket. Cow breast. So we basically, like I say, just kind of get rid of all this fat. Because as we can see, it's just pure fat.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna flip it to the other side. And this is the side. You see how some of the it just sticks out like this.
Yeah.
There's no need for them to stay. They call it this the mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good amount of fat that are just there that it will never render off. So we just have to find them and try to trim them.
It looks like the entire back is just all fat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because this one actually sits on the outside. That's why
Okay.
it's fat. So it's from here to the back, and this is the biggest part, and the back is the little spot. But this part is actually faced the outside, and
Okay.
that's why it's got more fat because of that.
Okay.
So when we trim the fat, we don't want to cut it into the meat. So sometimes you do, but you don't want to cut it into the meat. Like that.
Okay.
You don't want to cut it into the meat.
So what would happen if you just threw it into the smoker and didn't care about removing the fat?
It's fine, but you will have, when you cut the brisket, the fat will be so thick that some people don't like to bite into something that thick of a fat.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Normally, if you go eat out at the restaurant, they will just trim everything off to make it look really pretty, cut everything down, but we're not gonna do that. That one was 17. This is a 16. All right, egg.
Number 2.
Yep.
How many briskets would you do at a time for like a normal Like a decently sized gathering.
Well, we done 5 before, but this will be the first time we've done this many since we're doing it for the CO on Monday, and since we're doing it for about 200 people also.
That's a huge order.
Yeah. So this will be the most we have done on that smoker.
Could the smoker take all of them?
Yeah, it should be able to.
Oh, well, I mean, if it could fit, like 10 bodies in there.
That's true.
Try not to do something like that, but sometimes it's just no other way.
Sometimes it just happens that way. It really thins it out.
Yeah, just enough to where hopefully the heat will melt the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan. We thin it out enough to where the heat will do the rest. So see, you could kind of see the silver
Oh, yeah.
color. That's why they call it silver skin. I'm just gonna touch it up. That's all I'm gonna do on this side. And we have this big fat piece.
Mm-hmm. Almost looks like you're cutting into chicken.
See, it's just all fat. So I'm just trying to get as much out as possible because it's going to be very hard for the heat to trying to get rid of all this fat.
You really had to carve that one out. So how many does that make that we're down now? 1, 2, 3, is that 4?
We got 4.
4 down and what, 11 to go or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All yours.
All right.
All right, babe, he's
Crack
going
those
in.
knuckles.
He's going in. Get the stretchies.
All right. Open it up. I'm supposed to get rid of it, so I'm gonna start doing that
Yes.
right now. Right now we're doing it. So this is the part where it is non-professional and this is pure amateur.
Got 2 going at a time.
2 going at once. Who's gonna be done first?
There's a lot of meat, so we gotta.
Got to get through it.
Yep.
Yeah. How long did that one sit in the fridge for?
A month.
A month? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How long do these last in the fridge? Because I know with
They are
other...
they actually vacuum seal.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you don't break the seal, you could leave it in there for probably 2 months or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know one or two of this has been sitting in the fridge for at least 2 months or more.
No, okay.
Yeah. But they're not broken, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
'Cause I know all the smaller cuts of meat that you get, you have to use them relatively
Yeah.
soon or freeze them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Because those are not vacuum sealed.
yeah. So they're going to go bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like we're just over halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So we're gonna use black pepper.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use this one first because it's already been opened. Then we're gonna use garlic, and then we're gonna use salt,
Okay.
and we're gonna use cane sugar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they all preferable be coarse. You don't want the fine one. You want coarse.
Okay.
Yeah. We got coriander
Mm-hmm.
and ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna mix them together.
Why do you have to use the granulated as opposed to fine?
The granulated one, it sticks to the surface of the meat instead of clogging the pore of the meat.
Oh, okay.
So that way the juice and the spice can go in and out of the meat instead of clogging it, so they can't go anywhere.
Gotcha.
Want to see these other ones too? They just put them
We're gonna use all of this because that's the smallest amount, and I didn't get any coarse. This one's not open, so we're not gonna use that one. This one is open. Just dump the whole thing in. Now we're done with that.
Turn the light on.
Oh, yeah, behind you. Alright, so what we're gonna do is,
Now what do you want?
where's the ginger thing?
Right here.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a half of salt, and then everything else is the other half. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to fill this thing with salt, and that will be half of that. So we're gonna use half of this,
This is 1.6 ounces.
half of that. We can use a cup of that, and that means we need to add a cup of salt.
That's half a cup. Now do we mix it?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get some more black pepper in there. That's half of black pepper. Because once we mix that, we can use it for future. Half of salt again. Because that's a lot of meat.
Yeah, it
Half
is.
of that. I think I'm gonna go for one more of this.
Mm-hmm.
Three, 1.5 cup, I guess. 3 cups.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 cups. got you this spoonful.
That is way too much.
No, it's perfect amount. That's how you could taste it all.
I definitely get more pepper this time around.
Okay.
Like the first time I felt like it was, there was a lot of different flavors. Like getting very peppery this one.
How's the salt? Can you taste the salt?
I can taste salt for sure, yeah. Okay,
There you
so
go.
we got the
Just put it down. Just put it on there.
Oh, you
And
staple
scoop it in.
Perfect.
stapled piece of paper. That is genius.
And then cut the bottom.
Yeah. So how far along are you?
This is the last one.
This is the last one?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
After this, we marinate.
Awesome. That did take a couple hours.
Yeah. And well, look at that pot. I mean.
That's a whole lot of fat.
Mm-hmm. A lot of tallow.
So you load the wood up?
Yeah. Gotta cover it up.
Do you build it in a certain way or just throw it in?
I actually build it this way.
Yeah?
Crisscross like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just for the elevation.
Oh, gotcha.
Alrighty. I'm used to taking it off, so I don't use that
Yeah.
because if you use it a lot, it gets stuck into those grooves,
Yeah.
and then you can't close the lid, and it always spills. So for the sake of that, I always open it up. So. And I just kind of pat it in.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I see any bare spot, I'll add more to it and pat it in.
So you just give it a good coat and a pat.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a small one.
Okay.
Now that end is hot.
But this end.
Yeah, nothing is hot over there. Nothing is hot here. That.
Just that sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You touch that.
It's over.
What does that one say?
This is over 350.
Oh, that should be because the flame is right there.
Yeah.
And
this
that one's
one-
300, about 300 too. So,
Okay.
so. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the meat. We're gonna open that and we're gonna put it in there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I put the meat in the way where it doesn't touch each other.
Okay.
That gives you the best smoke possible. And plus they will shrink too. Close it. Add fire into it. And we want it to go at least 200.
200?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to determine how many pieces of firewood would take for it to go to 200.
Okay.
So
We want it to 200 in the middle?
all
All of
the way
them?
And I try to do the fire as close to the door as possible.
Okay, I got you.
Just leave it like that. And then I can close it if it gets too hot. I'll open if it gets not hot enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the time that we smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good smoke. And in a little bit, we'll change it. But we probably won't see it because we're dark by then.
Mm-hmm. So now that we got all the brisket loaded up, and it's been going for a good hour or so, about how long will it need to be in there?
It's probably going to be in there for 6 to 8 hours. And then we're going to check the temperature, the inner temperature, to see what it looks like. We want the bark to be like really dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's almost actually similar to that right here, a darker color. You know, and then if it feels good, you know, by touching it, then we're gonna wrap it with butcher paper, and then we're gonna throw it back in there. And then it'll stay like that until it's cooked. Then we'll take it out, and I normally just wrap it again with foil, and then we'll throw it in the cooler.
Okay.
And it'll sit in the cooler for, depends on how good your cooler is, it could sit in there to 24 hours or so.
Dang.
But our cooler is not that good, so maybe it'll sit in there about 6 or 7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
As long as we get it there before 3.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to check this thing throughout the night then.
Oh yeah, we have
Yeah.
to do the fire, and we have to check the temperature. We don't want it to be too clean.
Mm-hmm.
Until later on, while we're cooking, then it doesn't matter because we're wrapping it.
Yeah.
But for now, yeah, we want to see this, at least a little bit of this smoke.
All right. We're pulling an all-nighter.
It is.
Okay. That temperature's almost at 200 now.
Yeah. This one, it's about 225.
And this one is about roughly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it's on its way.
Mm-hmm.
With the water in there?
It will. The water will get heat up and it will get hot, and it will create humid,
Mm-hmm.
and it will keep the meat from drying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And plus, it puts a little shoe on there, so that way the meat here will, will be in good shape,
Yeah.
protected. But that's not too bad, actually.
Let's see.
I'm gonna close it to prevent the
Okay.
thing, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put my gloves on, and we're gonna maneuver some of this.
Okay.
We're gonna move them around.
It looks good so far.
So we're gonna move this one there.
It does look pretty good for just 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what those looks like over there. So we have an idea if we need to maneuver them. Yes. I'm gonna take that one. We'll put this one down.
And you just maneuver them based off of
What they look like.
what they look like.
Yeah. When it gets darker, we'll move it to the one that is lighter. And we'll move the lighter one to where the darker one used to be at, you know.
Yeah. So what we got here?
Yeah, so those are ribs. We have room for them now. That could fit right here. All right.
All right.
Good.
That looks good. The fat looks pretty good. Smells good too.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Looks like teriyaki chicken, doesn't it? So we're probing the meat now, right?
Yeah.
Is there a specific temperature we're looking for, or just?
No, we just want to know what they are.
I got you.
Light. That's 170. Yeah. And yeah, the ribs are looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do, and we're gonna find a space for it. We'll leave it open
Okay.
because we need to wrap it
Mm-hmm.
and then put it back in there.
Gotcha. It's time for wrapping.
Yeah.
All right.
So you say it's about 1?
12:45ish right now.
Okay, so we'll round up to 1.
Okay.
We start at 5.
Yeah.
So how many hours is that?
7, I think.
Okay, that's good timing then.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
So it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been cooking the fat on top of the little spot right there. The ribs and the brisket are all looking pretty good. So we're at that point now where we're gonna have to start wrapping it up. So we're gonna take each one out, wrap it in foil, put it back in, and gonna keep going. So wrap it. And what does wrapping do for it again?
It helps with the moisture.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta make it tight. It has to be very tight.
Okay.
Because if it's not tight, it won't do it.
Okay.
So we always put the fat side up because now when we flip it, the fat side's down. And when we flip it one more time, the fat side's back up. We
Right.
gotta keep track of where the fat side is at.
Okay.
And then this one.
And then tuck it underwards.
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And now the fat ties back up.
Okay.
And
then we just place it back in. Alright, it is early in the morning now. It's about 7:15ish. We left it alone for a couple of hours just to make sure things are going good out here. Try that. And let's leave it open for a little bit. That way, as he explained, air gets sucked through there, all the way through. But this is the one we're worried about over here. And here we have. Like to get it above 250 at least. We'll get to see the sunrise soon. And you know, I don't think I've seen a sunrise yet since I moved here. Oh. Alright, we'll come back in, check up on it in a little bit. So we're just gonna take them out of the smoker and put them.
wrap it in foil.
Okay.
Because it'll continue cooking as it cools down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I do it. I don't think anyone does it that way, but you know. And I got hot water in here, so the cooler should be steaming.
Okay. Alright, so we have finally finished the cooking process, more or less. So we have it wrapped in butcher paper, foil, and put together in these nice coolers, where they will stay for a few hours until they're mercilessly devoured later.
See what it looks like.
Alright, let's see what it looks like. How many hours went into this, would you say?
From 5, and we took it out, what, 11?
Mm-hmm. Let's see, it's roughly an 18-hour thing.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We'll put it right there. We may need it. Nope. The paper took some of it. It's still hot, so I don't think it's even ready to be cut, but we have to.
Mm-hmm. How long would you usually leave it to rest?
8 hours.
Oh,
actually.
wow. Okay.
So it's soft. Yeah. There's some juice. See?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the fat end, and this is the lean end. have to do it like this because I'm cutting it this way.
This one got cooked really thoroughly.
Well, this one is also a small one.
Yeah.
And it's cooking with all the big ones, so we should have taken them out sooner.
It makes sense this one would be more well done.
Yeah.
There's some color in it right there.
Yeah, so those are the smoke, and the fat is rendered pretty much a lot of it. Smells a little bit smoky. I think it could be more juicier,
Yeah.
but it is a small one among all the big one.
Yeah. So if this is how the small one is, then I would
Those
think
big
that,
ones should be good.
yeah, those big ones should be
Mhm.
good to go. All right. No, that's pretty nonetheless.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
We can. This big one.
Alex loves those jiggle physics.
You know what we need? Is a trash.
Trash. Let's see if we have a trash.
I wish I could have recorded his face. It was funny. Wow, look at that.
Okay, we got one next to you. So this is you're putting the fat on, right?
Dad is putting, if
Looks like
he can get it on.
looks like the jars from Jurassic Park. You know, there's amber in there.
Yeah.
Pouring the fat.
And what does that do again?
Once we cut it, we want to put it on so it doesn't oxidize.
Okay.
That means, well, you know what it means.
So it doesn't dry out.
Yeah.
You don't want this baby to dry out.
Brisket dries out really fast. You cut it and it will, if you don't serve it, it will dry out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh, hey.
I'm making a whole documentary about this. He thinks I'm joking. There we go.
All right, let's get that cross section.
Cross section. Okay, so we got this in half right here. Now,
Move that over to the side for now. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, look at that. So juicy.
Yeah.
So juicy and yummy.
There we go.
Now that that's done, you put it to the side,
Okay.
and then you
We do it
so instead of like that, just do it straight across. It will thaw better.
So just go like this?
Yeah.
All right. There he goes.
Oh, hey. No problem. You're welcome.